Hello everyone, welcome to the League One division here at the Tricar Stadium on Rogers TV. My name is Allan, I'll be your host and play-by-play commentator for tonight, and alongside me tonight is Kyle McGaw as your color commentator. Tonight's matchup here is FC London against Guelph United. There are only a few games left here in the season right now, and FC London is sitting at the bottom of the standings, but the most recent games they've actually kept it a lot closer since that 6-2 loss against ProStars FC of our last broadcast with them. And right now we're jumping right into the game, but here with Kyle, what is your thoughts coming into this game?
Well, for London, there's only 3 games left of this season. I think the last 3 games should be used by the coaching staff to figure out what pieces they need for next season and a chance for these players to prove that they're up to the task for the future.
And here already at the start, there's been a few throw-ins already on this far part of the field. A couple throw-ins for FC London. Doros kicking it out. Ranji trying to pass that back. Now it's a battle here. And Mar will be able to take that away there from Guelph United. Guelph United still battling, keeping the press high on to FC London. Cross comes in. Quick header back out. First foul here. Guelph United will get a free kick out of this. And it was a light cross coming over into the 18-yard. It's been easily cleaned out. Now it's being pushed over to the side. Fonseca tried to pass it through. Fonseca dribbling up into the top of this 18-yard box, passing it over here to the side to Barrowcliff, and Barrowcliff, and it will be a little off.
It's a decent effort there by London. Guelph just got to be wary of that counter-attack.
FC London able to read that. McQuail passing into the middle. Guelph able to grab that ball. Passing it back to the goalkeeper, Artemenko. Trying to switch it up. Quick cross up and over, Guelph United. Looking to try and get to the top of the 18-yard box there. The Baker is able just to save that before it was getting out. Oakley passing out to the wide. Quick read from Barrowcliff, now passing to the middle. Quick switch. Oh!
It's offside anyway. Both teams sat each other right from the start.
Yeah, here in the 4th minute, what have you been seeing right now, Kyle? We get a quick replay of this.
He's unlucky. He was offside, but it's positive moving forward for London.
Artemenko taking it easy there, pass it out. Guelph making FC London run a bit there in their back line. Big cross up over, switching it to FC London's side. Foul's been drawn. Quayo helping him him up.
Just keep going back. Set to check your right. Ready, boy!
Quayle making a quick turn, trying to send that forward. Oakley pass that back to the goalkeeper. Oakley switching it up. Sturgiotis able to get his foot on that, just went a little too high. Now will be FC London throw-in. Mello pass backs. Fonseca passing to Galeno. Galeno to Fonseca. Fonseca attempted of a shot. It'll be a goal kick. What are you seeing right now out here, Kyle? What are both teams?
It's been a quick start by both. London seem to be pushing forward, trying to get on the attack quick. From Guelph, it's been a few times they're quite comfortable playing out from the back, trying to break London's press.
Big kick in from Artemenko. Doros picking it up over into the corner there. It's a little battle between Baker. Baker trying to send that one out. It'll be a Guelph throwing now. Zajac throwing that one in. Quick switch here. Oakley running down. Great through ball here.
No foul.
FC's London defense able to sweep that one out. And that will be throw-in. Fonseca able to get a tip on that now. A counter here onto the Guelph defense. Fonseca making a beautiful run, sending it here forward. What a beautiful goal. Wow.
It's a good finish again.
Beautiful work here from FC London.
Said at the start, Guelph's got to be wary of London's counter-attack. They look like they're fast up top, so...
FC London, they played very patient here at the start. And Fonseca saw that counter, was able to make a great pass forward there up to Barrowcliff. And a good ball in the back of the net.
Good through ball. One touch into the back of the net. Good finish.
Great work. As we jumped right here into the match, both teams right now, FC London right now, their formation that they're sitting with is a 3-4-2-1, and Guelph, I believe, is a 3-5-2. And with these formations, what's your thoughts on it, Kyle?
They're both very similar. It looks like, from London's standpoint, they've got a flat four, and then the two other midfielders are sort of a wide attacking midfielders. Looking to help out the lone striker up top. From Guelph, it looks like more of a flat five, with a holding mid.
Yeah, both teams have been playing a bit more defensively here. Almost looking a bit more for those counterattacks. And the shot is off here. Doros looking to try and get the shot.
Yeah, London's just got to be careful there at the back. Sees they lose concentration after scoring. They know Guelph's going to come at them. Guelph's got a lot to play for tonight.
Looks like that ball just slipped away from Galeno there. It was a great save from Slepinski as well.
Yeah.
Doros. And over in the other game there, Alliance did win 2-1 against Waterloo in their final match there.
Coming into this game before the Alliance won, it's tied for the last playoff spot between Guelph and Alliance. I'm sure the Guelph coaching staff will be a bit worried about the way they started this game, going 1-0 down, especially when points are crucial. And into the last 3 games, they dropped points against Vaughan in the last game. I think the last thing they want to do is drop points here tonight.
Yeah, Guelph just lost on Wednesday to the first place Vaughan Azuri as well, and they were just on a 5-game winning streak back then. In the standings, it is a bit of a battle for them right now to make it into the playoffs. Looking back to try and pass it back, has to be pushed forward. Barrowcliff. Woo. Artemenko battled that with Barrowcliff.
Good save on the goalkeeper. Managed to make it a goal kick as well.
Good defense from Galeno.
Don't get sucked in too much. Like, just watch it. Just back press. Yeah!
Galeno sending that to the middle. No one was there. Little pushes on the back on Rankin. Guelph. FC's London throw in here.
I got the ball.
Cuello.
Does Max have a ball? No, Max.
Looks like that just must have snuck out a bit. It'll be a Guelph throw in.
Tempo of the game's been quite fast so far. It's probably more down to how narrow the pitch is here.
Coe crossing this up to the top. Big header from FC's London defense. Just goes out. We're throwing now.
Oh, yeah.
Vasconcelos was just not able to keep that one in. Fonseca. Back to Galeno.
Hey.
Mar switching it. Through ball is made to Barrowcliff, but Guelph United, Artemenko's goalkeeper, will get his hands on that one. Fernandez.
Guelph's just trying to settle the tempo of the game now.
Yeah, Milo, keep going.
Vasconcelos. Foul's been drawn. Maybe a free kick here for Guelph.
Hey, it's the yellow card if they touch it.
Big switch from Oakley.
Good ball.
Bit of a battle in the corner there. Guelph still keeping the ball.
There's how he touches like a brick house.
Gonna be out here now.
Like usual. He received the ball and I'm looking at
Throwing for London.
oh my god. And it's building me up. Why are you shepherd's pie?
16 minutes in, FC London is up 1-0 against Guelph United.
I didn't forget that. Steven, what's the word?
A good start from London. I think Guelph will be disappointed.
What's the word of the month?
Winning the league last year, getting into the MWay Canadian Championship, getting the chance to play against HFX Wanderers this season. I'm sure they want that opportunity again.
Slipinski, grab that one. Gonna bring the momentum of the game down a little bit. Gonna try and pass a bit more. Looking for Bequeo there. Carter. Back to Morangi.
Turn!
Mar finds Fonseca.
That's the ball.
Ref won't call that foul there.
Hey, look at
You kill me too many times.
Yeah, doors.
Oh my god. No, Santi, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Boston like this tomatoes.
Fonseca. Bit of a rough foul there. Now it's back into play. FC London holds possession. Good read from Aji Meng. The ball will be going out here onto the side. Oh! Good attempt. Guelph United.
Decent effort there. London need to stay focused though, they can't let chances like that happen in the box. Got to protect this 1-0 lead.
Guelph is slowly picking up their momentum right now.
They look like a team that's comfortable keeping the ball on the ground. You can see the way they're playing out the back. They're very patient with their build-up.
Bit of a tumble from Barrowcliff. Free kick for London. Quayle. Oakley. Big kick up. Ajimang keeps control of that. Tackle.
Good tackle there.
Quick step in from Oakley, and now be a FC London throw-in. Galena looking for someone. Switches it. Now the pressure comes on to Guelph. Does go up and over.
Took a bit of a high boot there.
iffy play. But ref let that play on. Even though for FC London, yes, they are at the bottom of the standings here, they're still really trying to make a big statement that this is a rebuilding phase for them, and they can show their true colors to even a middle place standings team, Guelph United, against that. What do you think, Kyle?
Well, in the last few games, they've shown that they can score goals. It just depends on whether they can keep the ball at their own net. As the shot comes in, then get his foot around it.
It's a bit too high there.
Looks like clean sheets for London this season's, well, it's hard to come by for them.
Especially right now, Mike Sneddon is not on the pitch. Last game, he's out from an injury on the shoulder. Their top goal scorer for FC London.
It's a big loss for them, 8 goals and 17 appearances this season. It's a good goal return, especially when you look at where London is on the table.
Barrowcliff down.
That was a high foot there. I don't think there's much he could do about it though. Foot went over the ball.
Got caught in the middle of that action. He is back. Up running.
It's a good turn.
Great turn. Just goes wide.
Wasn't the connection he was looking for there. He did well to open up the angle for him.
It was a good ball sent forward to Owen McKee.
Good turn, just didn't catch it right.
Vasconcelos. Oakley chipping that up over. McKee running with it. And Ranji able to get his foot on that one. Vasconcelos. Quick heel back. A shot over. Oh. No one able to get their foot on that.
It's another big chance missed. It's only 23 minutes in, but I'm sure Guelph will be desperate for the equaliser early on. Can't afford to drop any more points here tonight.
Little sip there from Key. Push on the back from Mar. Vasconcelos trying to run that to the line. Maybe looking to pass that to the top of the box, but Sapinski able to defend that.
It's a couple of times now over the last 2 minutes. London's allowed Guelph to get to the byline. Time the delivery wasn't as good, but
right to the FC London foot. Bit of a battle between FC London and Guelph there.
Well done, Jay.
Throw in. Vasconcelos, quick cut in.
Deliver.
it's good defending.
Well defending.
Service, guys. Come on.
Pressure does come on to FC London's defense line. Trying to clear this one out.
Hey, boy, you got to deliver the balls, man.
Barrowcliff.
Good nasty collision there.
Just leaned in a little too much with his shoulder there. Let's take a quick look at that again. Oof. Slid in, knocked his head there as well.
Both players just trying to contest for that ball there. Looks like a sore one. Hopefully he's okay. Both players, I think, just lost their footing.
25 minutes here into the first half. What are you seeing out here right now, Kyle?
Looks like space in the last 5, even 10 minutes, Guelph started to grow into the game more. Setting their own tempo. I think it's had a good few chances as well. They really should have put one of them back in the back of the net, but should be promising to keep doing what they're doing. For London, they've just got to get behind the ball, make sure all Guelph's plays in front of them. A couple of times where they got to the byline, try to send the ball in. Can't afford to do that when you're 1-0 up.
It seems Guelph's style play right now, their urgency has been picking up. I think they're becoming a bit nervous right now, seeing that it's getting 26 minutes in and not really had too many attempts on shots on net.
No, but they do look like a team that's comfortable playing out from the back. A lot of the ball has been at feet.
Oakley's been doing well and switching it back and forth in the field. Cross comes in. Header. Sapinski get his hands on that. Already a big kick up and over. Trying to make contact with Bequeo. Ko will make this run down here on the wide.
Hey, no foul!
Barrel Cliff. Looked like he was trying to go in for the 50-50 chance of the header, but falls down with an injury.
It's not the nicest the surface to land on. Let's see here.
Looks like he might have got clipped on his boot.
Yeah, I think so.
Bequeo able to get a foot on that. Back down here, Bequeo battling. Ref calling it some pulling on the shirt. Guelph United will get a free kick. Artemenko, big cross in, great header from FC's line of defense. Return, Galeno. Now Bequeo passing over to Fonseca. Fonseca cuts in. Another switch. Takes a shot. Oh. Just over the bar.
That's really unlucky. Did so well again there. Keep possession of that ball. Especially there, the turn. He's just got to keep it low under the crossbar there. It's a good chance for London to go 2-0 up.
The chances are there for FC London right now. Throw in. Pass back to Oakley. Vasconcelos. Keep that in.
Fine, that's fine. Well done.
Middle. Cutty left. Go. Yes, sir. Hey.
One.
Polino.
Go, Camilo. Cut the angle off. Oh, great look though.
Header over the defense. No London player to get on that one. Good work from Herrera to keep that in.
Aiden!
Mar.
Yes, hold it. One, take that one. Yeah. Brenda, tuck.
Throwing here to Barrowcliff.
Let's hold. Hey! Let's get my shape. 7-14. Okay!
It's a really good cross-field ball there.
Let's get Solos. Great ball to the top of the box here. The shot up. And it goes in. Ostrin able to sneak that right past Lipinski into the bottom right corner. Quite a play from Guelph United. Starting all the way into the back, getting over from Vasconcelos. Makes his way to the top of the box there. Ostrin snuck his way in between the defense line, got into the bottom right corner.
That was a brilliant cross-field pass. Sure, that's what Guelph were looking for. London will be a bit disappointed. You can see the goal like that. Wasn't tracking there forward, getting him behind the fence there.
Right now for FC London, what do you think FC's London mindset should be right now, even though they just conceded this goal to equalize? Wow. Artemenko coming out of his box. Huge tackle.
See a replay on that. See him, I tell you what, I think he's pretty lucky there to be walking away with a yellow. Don't think he was quite the last man, but
very risky play from the goalkeeper. The yellow card was given to Guelph United's goalkeeper, Spadek Artemenko.
you were asking me about what London should do. Obviously now, since the equalizers happened here, they need to make the most, especially here a set piece, they need to make the most of these opportunities. They're a very counter-attacking team, so they need to be clinical in the final third. Especially against a team like Guelph, I don't think they're going to get many opportunities beyond this stage of the game.
Yeah, Barrowcliff, he saw the opportunity of a counter there and he went for it.
I think he's done well. He's been the target man up top. He's made a nuisance of himself. That's all you can do as a lone striker, especially when you probably wouldn't see the ball that much, but he's already scored in the game. Made a good few runs in behind.
Yeah, with Mike Sneddon out, Barrowcliff is a bit up there alone, having to try and make these opportunities himself. Here's this play now. Fonseca. Cross goes right into the wall. Guelph cuts that in. Herrera. Passes back to Slipinski. Slipinski kicks it right up and out.
Well done.
Through ball.
It's good defending there by Carter, stopping the cross.
That's a fucking red card, you know it. That's stupid.
Not allowing anything to get to that top of that 18-yard.
Therefore, they see possession of another Adamenko.
Doros be crossing this one in. The header up and over. Will be a goal kick.
Difficult ball to try and keep down.
Actually kicking it over to the other half. I know.
I think Guelph playing with 10 men just now. Barracliff's still feeling that one from earlier. I think he's good. I think the referee just waiting for the referee to let him back on.
Vasconcelos tried to send that forward. It's back to FC London's defense. Herrera sends it down. McGaw. Tried to pressure forward. Draws the foul. Ball's back into play.
Again?
Fonseca try to get a back heel on that. Artemenko throwing that out. FC London will get a throw in.
Even on the counter attack, it looks like London's quite happy to get a lot of bodies forward.
I know.
Fonseca trying to foul. Big cross up over to Vasconcelos. Wasn't able to control that. Got a shoulder from FC's London defense.
Difficult ball to control, but there's that diagonal again, catching London out.
Carter a bit in trouble, was able to pass it away. Quick read in the middle for FC London. The Jack. Oh. And offside.
He's got to watch his line there. Try to play on the shoulder of the defender.
Another big crossover to Vasconcelos. Vasconcelos able to bring that down. Polano finds McGaw. McGaw will pass that one back.
So Fernandez is pretty comfortable playing that crossfield ball a couple of times now.
Mar. Looking for an opening, switches it over to Carter. FC London definitely using time to their advantage right now. Fonseca. Bell Cliff.
I think he thought the goalkeeper was a bit further off his line than he was there.
The attempt was there.
Yeah. Tried to dink it into the far post.
Alshin. Quick pass back. Alshin in the corner. Tried to pass the one forward. Ranji. Cross comes over. FC London did get the lob. They're bringing it back here to the defense line. Looking for a different opening. Fonseca able to get a good foot on that. Brings it over to the wide. Galano makes his way to the middle. Switches it up. Ooh. Vasconcelos taking on both players there, but does get the ball taken away. Ranji able to get a foot on that. Back to Bequayo. Galano. Sends it forward to Fonseca. Fonseca not finding any opening. Back to Morangi. Mar.
Good touch.
Ooh. Slide. Comes in just a little too far. With both teams still with like a lot of high urgency right now. FC London has been keeping a lot of control, but right now, what are your thoughts here, Kyle?
I think it's been a bit back and forth. London has probably had the better part in the last 5 minutes. You wouldn't think the gap between these teams is really there, going by what you've seen in this game.
Yeah, the chemistry has been a lot different for FC London. It seems that they might be starting to slowly get that gel together. They're understanding how to play with each other. And that is definitely what you want to see from a rebuilding phase for FC London.
Yeah.
Fonseca trying to chip that over.
Yes. Again, using the remaining 3 games this season, you've got your foundation there, looking ahead towards next season. Sure, all these players have all got something to play for tonight. Even if you're the bottom of the league, you know, all these guys want to make sure that they can show that they're up to the job next season.
Getting closer to halftime. Guelph United did try to sneak in a little cross there. Slipinski holding it a little bit. Let his team recuperate. Quick little turn back. Guelph player opened up, looked like he was trying to find an opening. No one was there for him. Here in the 45th minute, 2 minutes of added time.
Officials are getting a minimum of 2 minutes of extra time.
Fonseca dribbling his way over, makes a quick little cut around. Guelph's defense able to get the ball away from him. Fonseca just sneaking his foot in a little too late. And the foul has been drawn.
Bit of frustration there, couldn't get his shot away. Did well again in that position, but
Artemenko not even attempting to think on the one flank, just bringing it right over to the other side. Strong battle from Morangi. Foul does get drawn. Golino. Able to find Mello. Fonseca cutting it back in. Trying to pass it forward to the box. But Guelph was able to shut him down, and now here onto the counter. Guelph changing the pace up a little bit there. Ostron brings it down to the corner, passes to the top of the box. Cross comes over, and the header's in! And it is a goal for Guelph United.
London will be disappointed by that. Just before half-time, the last thing you want to do is concede a goal. Changes the entire complexion of the game in the second half.
Looking like that would be the last play of the half here. Jared Ajimeng gets the header to the back of the net.
Did well to find his space. There's a good ball in. You'd expect London to clear it, but
unlucky. And that'll be half-time for FC London against Guelph United. 2-1 here on Rogers TV.
Looking for the best way to get the Major League Baseball games you want to watch? Rogers Super Sports Pack has you covered. With MLB Extra Innings, you'll have a premium ticket to out-of-market regular season games with all games available in HD. Don't miss the action from the games you want from both the American and National Leagues. MLB Extra Innings, part of the Super Sports Pack. For only $35.95 a month, Rogers customers get all this for one all-inclusive price. Order using your remote starting on channel 431 or visit Rogers.com today.
Hi, I'm Marion Strome, Chair of the PHSS Foundation. The Foundation is hosting our 20th annual Leo Kerwin Memorial Golf Tournament on August 19th, 2022 at East Park Golf Gardens. Honoring a founding board member, Leo Kerwin, the event features a day on the golf course, a fantastic barbecue lunch, a $5,000 hole-in-one contest, and an extensive silent auction with a wide range of prizes. In celebration of the 20th anniversary of the tournament, we're having a raffle of WestJet plane tickets, valued at approximately $4,200. The funds raised by the raffle help PHSS Foundation to enrich the lives and meet the needs of the people supported by PHSS. Information is available at www.phsscommunity.com.
Game Day London takes readers behind the scenes, offering news, analysis, long form, and interviews, all produced by local journalists. Catch the coverage at GameDayLondon.com. Welcome everyone here for FC London Soccer on Rogers TV here at the Tricar Field. I'm Alex Allan. I'm here with Kyle McGaw, and here at halftime it's 2-1. It's been quite an intense game actually. Both teams have been battling very well. What are your thoughts right now, Kyle?
I think both sides started really well. The tempo was quick. London also got the early goal. I'm sure they'll be disappointed at the end. You don't want to concede before half-time, especially when the other team takes the lead. It changes the entire complexion of the second half. But for them, I think they're just going to have to keep doing what they're doing. I think they maybe need to solidify a bit more in the back three. So a good few times the ball's gotten to the byline. It's been an easy ball. Well, it could be an easy ball for Guelph to play across the face, and it's just playing themselves in a bit of trouble, letting them in behind.
Absolutely, and here just taking a quick look at the replays here in this first half. This first, Fonseca passing it over to Bowercliff, and a great shot from Bowercliff.
Yeah, it's a perfect build-up play, the through ball through to Bowercliff on his left foot, strokes it past the goalkeeper. That's another good finish as well. He does well to keep possession of that there. The crossfield ball before that play was excellent, and here's the last one there. The ball bounces in the box. The defenders won't be too happy with that.
Yeah, right before halftime there.
It's an easy header for Guelph to take the lead. I'm sure they'll be disappointed with that last one.
I definitely for sure think, that here at halftime they'll be trying to discuss that one over of what happened, what broke down, and I definitely think they were seeing if that was more of an offside call. All the defense lines were putting their hands up thinking that was offside, but it looked like Ajimain was just keeping himself on for that last goal.
Yeah, possibly. Fortunately, there's no VAR at this level, so it's sometimes, mistakes happen. You need to play until the whistle. What's happened is happened. They just need to go in at half-time, forget about it, get themselves level again.
It's the only thing they can do. And here it's right now at halftime, 2-1 on Rogers TV. We'll be right back.
Generally from an attacking position, somebody who's grabbing a hold of you, you cannot break these. Doing simple things like these, their grip's too strong, I can't move them off, nothing works. You need to deaden nerves. So this would come from doing something such as a strike. A lot of nerve bundles underneath here, strike upwards into that nerve bundle. Do both, up, and you can most likely break grip by pop, and then pursue with a throw by sitting behind their leg. What I do is I come in, pop their hips, bring my other leg behind them and straighten it out, and I sit down, straight down. From here, I have control.
Do you enjoy watching FC London soccer on Rogers TV? Then come join the crew. Volunteers learn the skills needed to put on a show, including camera, audio, graphics, and more. Visit rogerstv.com/volunteer to sign up. We're back here after that quick little commercial break, and it's still currently just at halftime, 2-1, and here right now we're just going to take a quick look at the standings. This was before coming into this matchup.
Yeah, you can see their Alliance still holding that 6th spot. That's the big one for tonight. You know, Guelph, as I said before in the pre-game, they can't drop any. They can't afford to drop any more points after last week's loss, especially at London here tonight. So,
yeah, and we did find out as well that Alliance did win 2-1 against Waterloo, so that will have an additional 3 points here onto that standings that we see with them. So, what do you think this means right now for Guelph United against FC London right now?
Well, Guelph, they can't let the nerves get to them, right? I'm sure they're fully aware of the Alliance score. Finished just before this game started. They've got everything to play for tonight, you know. They were in the Amway Canadian Championship this season because they won the league last year. I'm sure these guys will be wanting to experience it again, a chance to play another professional team like HFX Wanderers. For London, they're just here to spoil the party for them. They want to fight with some pride. They still have a lot to play for, these guys, you know. They're all young guys. They're trying to make it in football. They're all trying to make it a career out of it. So they've got everything to play for.
Yeah, and we even have just been informed as well that ProStars, here from some of the other results, that ProStars FC won 3-1 against Hamilton United, and right now at halftime, North Toronto is up 3-0 against North Mississauga. And even on the final game there, Sigma FC against Unionville Milliken, 7-2.
Rough day for Unionville.
Bit of a rough one there, but from seeing this right now, Kyle, what do you think this means right now for these two teams that are playing, FC London and Guelph?
Well, all the teams that are ahead of Guelph in the standings have won. I don't think it affects Guelph too much. Again, obviously the Alliance game does, but it's table set in stone. A lot of these teams are already in the playoffs. For Guelph and Alliance, it's all down to those two for those remaining playoff spot.
Yeah, and top 6 gets into the playoffs, and it looks like it's going to be a tight one of seeing who's going to be making that last spot. But at the moment, we're just going to go to a quick break right before after this half starts.
My name is Chase Nicholas. I am a Mi'kmaq hockey player. Growing up, I always remember my family talking about the Mi'kmaq as the creators of the game of hockey. In grade 7, I did research on Mi'kmaq hockey sticks as the first sticks of the NHL. I found a Mi'kmaq hockey stick made in 1917, the same year the NHL was formed. I was surprised to find out the very stick I was holding was made by my great-great-grandfather, Alexander Cope. In 1934, an elder known as Old Joe Cope wrote a letter to the Halifax Herald claiming the Mi'kmaq created hockey. I found out later that I am a direct descendant of Old Joe Cope. There was a time when Mi'kmaq children were torn from their families and not allowed to speak their language, losing their words and stories. But the stories are coming back to us. Stepping on the ice, I take pride knowing the roots of the game of hockey stem from my ancestors in the Mi'kmaq Nation.
You should expect to take the occasional fall when you are paddleboarding, so always have your tether attached. If you lose your balance, aim for the side so that you fall into the water. To get back on your board from the side, pull yourself aboard while remaining in the prone position. Once aboard, reorient yourself so that you're facing the front of the board. Then, using your paddle to brace yourself, get up to your knees and then stand.
Coming up this week on Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff, Jeff is returning to a backyard that he's visited in the winter to see what it looks like in the summer. Watch Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff Thursday at 7:30 p.m. We're back here for FC London Soccer against Guelph United at the Tricar Stadium. It is still halftime. Some of the players are making their way back out from their change rooms. And right now, for the future of soccer here in Canada, what are some things that you know about, Kyle?
Well, it's promising, especially for a lot of these guys out here tonight. You know, a lot of them are still young. A couple of years ago, it was difficult for a lot of guys breaking through the system. There was no professional teams, and then obviously we had the 3 MLS teams for a while. It's only 3 teams though, so now got the CPL. It's a perfect pathway for these guys to hopefully take advantage of, advance their professional careers. In the future, we're going to have League 2 as well, coming into fruition. Again, it's another chance. Hopefully it'll eliminate the chance that, you know, some of the young talents that are coming through, and they avoid getting lost in the system, right? They have somewhere to go, especially in Canada. Before, you know, they have to go to Europe. Some families don't really want to do that. Some families can't afford it. To give them the platform here in Canada, it's important.
Yeah, definitely from where it was a few years ago to how it is now for League 1 making its way in, and just the growth of Canadian soccer has been huge. And even I believe there's a League 2.
Yeah, there's a League 2 coming in as well. I mean, all these players can, you know, there's good examples of Alistair Johnston used to be in this league, and now he's a mainstay in John Herdman's team for the Canadian men's national team. So the pathway is there, and it's got to excite a lot of these guys. Kids younger looking to moving up in age. You know, the country's qualified for the World Cup. You know, you look at the young guys, Jonathan David, Alphonso Davies is the obvious one, Stephen Eustachio. There's a lot of top quality, world-class talent that Canada's producing, and this just gives them the platform to hopefully develop more of those talent.
The opportunities are definitely coming, and it is making a big impact for new young players making their way here into Canada and seeing that they might actually make a chance to get into the bigger leagues. And Guelph United just huddled up right now, maybe looking at talking about some strategies, getting up into their formation. FC London will be starting with first ball here in second half. And what are some key points right now you think FC London needs to do in the second half, Kyle?
For FC London's standpoint, they need to find their equalizer. If they have any intentions of winning this game, then they've got to find it fast. They've got to up the tempo a bit. Don't play any slack balls. Try and test the Guelph back 3, sorry.
Here we are starting off into the second half now.
They can take a lot of confidence from the first half. They played well. Just a few lapses in concentration that lost them the 2 goals.
Carter trying to header that one out. Foul was made. Quayle passes back to Marr.
2!
Herrera now to Carter. Well, quick passes made there. Will be a Guelph throw in.
Number 17, Sean McElroy.
Guelph's just got to stay focused. Going into the second half, they'll be looking to add a few more to the scoreline.
Sent through to the middle. FC's London's defense line clearing that out. Oakley.
Time!
Question outside. Coming out of the game for Guelph, number 12, Ryan Clark.
Back to the keeper. Artemenko. Big cross open over. Couple headers from FC's London's. Carter was sending that one out.
Number 23, Juan Sebastian Gomez, Colombia. Going into the game for FC London, number 17, Julian Sanchez.
Work off it.
Baker throwing it in. Bequail going into the corner. Gets tapped out for a corner kick. Substitution was made at halftime. Julian Sanchez did get substituted in. Fonseca crossing it in. Guelph got ahead on that. And that'll be a throw in here for London. Bit of an iffy throw back to the FC's London's defense. Some press coming on from Austin. Now it's switched up here. There was a slide in. Ball just got away from London's feet. Artemenko telling Guelph to calm it down a little bit. Looks like trying to keep control of the game a bit. Doros. Pass it back to Oakley. Oakley tried to look for the opening.
Can we go?
After the hot and humid day we had today, it is starting to pick up a little bit of a dew onto the field, onto this pitch, especially with the AstroTurf. Ball's been skipping a lot faster than usual. Some slides around.
You can tell the surface is a bit more slick. I'm sure the players won't be complaining about it getting a bit cooler out here.
Will make it a struggle for them, though, to keep control of the ball to their feet. Ferreira passing back to Carter. Looks like the Guelph player got the wind knocked out of him there.
The wind out of it. He got the ball with the face.
See the replay.
I think he just got winded there.
Yeah. Right to the chest. McKee back up onto his feet. Throws back into play. Binsky helping to switch it up. He's ready to get the ball back to him. Morangi. Looked like an attempt of a quick pass, but ball does go out. And substitution here. Barrowcliff is getting subbed off. And
it's Mike Snedden.
Snedden's coming on. Interesting substitution.
I think he was dealing with a bit of a shoulder injury for the game. Coaching staff didn't want to risk it too much. I think he came off the bench in the last game.
Number 9, Mike Snedden.
Yeah, speaking with the manager before the game, it sounded like he might have tried to cape him off from this match, but I think they're seeing that this is an important game for them. And he might need to It looks like they're trying to get him on now.
They're chasing that goal, so the top goal scorer to be on the pitch for that. Getting 8 goals in 17 appearances is a good return.
Ball getting sent over here. Fonseca still giving pressure. Morangi. Lipinski passing to Carter. Morangi keep control of that. Switches it over to the other side. Big cross up over to Buqueo. Buqueo not able to get connection of that. Ooh. Ooh, and slip. And it's in the back of the net.
Another good finish there.
Very quick play. Najee Main was ready for it. Unlucky from FC London's defense.
Good ball in behind, takes on his right, cuts back in. Slots it past the goalkeeper. Very experienced finish there. Well, the start London would have wanted. We're going into the second half, but I'm sure Guelph will be happy.
FC London cannot lose momentum from this right now, though. Definitely 13 minutes here into the second half. If they slowly lose momentum, it could be the deciding factor of how this game might play out.
They don't want to get their heads down. You know, they've proven in this game that they are capable of breaking this Guelph team down.
Guelph United goal scorer number 9, Jared Everman. Goal scored in the 52nd minute. The second man in the 52nd minute.
Throw comes in. Raji not allowing Guelph to pressure them again like that. FC London holding control. Austrin trying to give Carter a bit of pressure. Carter was ready for it. He's still pushing up to the middle. Bit of a clip there. It'll be a free kick for London.
Harry then! Harry!
Carter over to Herrera. Mar.
Oh no, I saw it.
Oh! Shot goes off and it just hits the post.
London fortunate there.
Let's take a quick look at that post.
Again, it's the ball at the byline and the cutback. It's unlucky there with the finish.
It was a strong hustle from Co as well, and finding connection to that top of the box. Bit of a scramble there, especially because Mar trying to push up before that, and then Mello having to kind of pick up the slack from that. Cross comes up and over. Lipinski gets his hand on it.
Goalkeeper did well there. Looked like it was heading for the top corner. Not sure if he meant it. Maybe he was trying to catch the goalkeeper out.
Right, come on, man. We gotta keep going. We're there. Wait.
Ooh. Both Guelph United players are down at the moment, unlucky. It's like,
I'm not quite sure he meant to do that.
yeah, I'm not sure. Don't think he was meaning to do that.
I think that was more. Feel that one in the morning. I don't think that was so much of a foul though. I think the original foul, what the referee blew for, I think it just hit off his face.
Yeah, Ajimane did get a little push on the back there. That's where the foul was drawn. Cross up and over. No one really able to get their head on that. Pressure does come in. McGaw did try to sneak his foot in there to get the tackle.
Looks like the other substitution at half time is Jonathan Cam coming on that right wing back area.
Yeah, Cam on that recent counter-attack, Cam was showing a little bit of life for FC London. Hopefully maybe to try and bring some momentum up for FC London here after that goal in the 52nd minute. Cross up and over. Header! Crossbar. Baker clearing that one out. Wow. Bit of a scramble up into the middle there. Sapinski. Now Carter finding Fonseca.
It's another warning shot there for Guelph. From Guelph.
There's that free kick
on
there.
the back post there as well. Stays on the back of the defender. It's unlucky. Can't keep it down.
It was a good cross that came in from Guelph. Now Baker crossing this in. FC London not able to get a foot on that. Cam from far! Oh my gosh! Wow! What a shot!
I mean, if you want to come off the bench, I'm pretty sure you don't think you're going to do that, but wow.
Let's take another look at that.
Just catches it there in the half, well, on the volley.
Just hammers it.
I think the goalkeeper's expecting it.
Artemenko was not expecting that whatsoever. Wow. And that's the momentum FC London was needing. We were just talking about Cam there. So we were seeing he was having that adrenaline and trying to find something. And here's now already the urgency building up for Guelph.
This is what they need to look out for.
Ostrin find the man in the middle. Oh, does get back in his offside.
But you think about that though, the technique on that ball. Keep it down, dip under. Keep it dipping under the crossbar. I'm sure he'll be saving that one on his phone.
And the pitch is definitely slick out there, and for Cam to able to control that in his chest, take the shot off like that.
First goal of the season, number 18, Jonathan Cam.
Baker
60th minute.
bringing that down. Tried to find the pass in the middle. But Coyle quick back into the play. Right to Guelph's goalkeeper.
Hey, steady! Come again.
Passes. Carter signing in.
Let's go, Brando!
Morangi.
It's good defending by Morangi there. Did well to skip past the first defender.
Let's take another quick look at that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Gets the ball.
It was well timing from Morangi.
I think Jack Sears is just feeling the impact of the surface.
How's he off? Standing in front of him.
Looks like they're questioning that offside. FC London now has it. Morangi sends it to the middle. Back over to Carter. Now Herrera.
Joe Smith! Hey, pin him, pin him! Pin him, over, Lucas.
I think every time they try to attempt to make that ball again, I'm going to have to be wary that the pitches are, I've said it a few times now, but the pitch is a little more slick. Backspin on the ball doesn't really affect the way it bounces anymore.
On TFC? No, but number 18 on TFC. Oh, yeah. I'm a pro goalkeeper.
Oh, try to turn that. FC London was able to get their foot. Throw in. Back in.
You would love
Quick cut up and over. McNay passing over the side to Sears. Sears crosses this over and too far.
I think his foot around the ball there, a bit off balance when he hit it. Difficult one to hit first time.
Morangi had a bit of trouble on his back there. Tried to look for Mar, but now it's back here with Guelph. Co looking to try and send that to the top there, but FC London was able to read that and not allow it to get through. It's a quick cross in.
They'll probably be good. And then they'll probably make it
They're still on this one. I think they're getting water breaks here.
Quick water break here at the 65th minute. Guelph is still leading 3-2.
Still a close game, Guelph. It's definitely not safe yet. London still got a good chance here.
Yeah, definitely with Jonathan Cam coming on. Right there, that is where you want to see of a substitution of a player coming on. And changing the momentum that fast for FC London is huge.
Yep.
And to show.
See the highlight here again. Just on that volley. I'm sure I watched that one a couple of times today.
It's definitely proving to Guelph that FC London is not giving up here in this match.
They just got to keep their concentration levels high. So they're only a goal behind. Their heads could have went down after the third one in for Guelph, but
it looked like their heads did go down, but Cam was able to help bring that motivation back for this team. The ball's back into play. Carter passing to Morangi. Baker did try to leave that for Sneddon. Sneddon was just not able to get to it.
Yes, Baker, if you need it.
Quick cut forward for Carter. Herrera tried to send that forward to Sneddon.
I think it was the wrong side of what Sneddon was expecting. Caught on his heels.
McNay making some quick passes forward. It's a foul. It'll be a free kick for Guelph. Fernandez tried to cross that one up and over. Cam bringing some intensity over there. Raji. Bit of a threatening little pressure there from Guelph, but Morangi was able to keep his cool. Did cross it up and forward, but it will be Guelph's throw-in.
Bro, he's chugging. Look at him, he's still going. He's actually chugging. Oh my gosh.
Substitutions being made for Guelph United.
He's not done it.
Vasconcelos is coming off, and Evan Dick will be coming on.
And now he's gonna. What is it? He's crushing it. Yeah, he did chug it. This is not. I hear it from here.
Another shot comes up.
He's traveling.
Sears trying to take a shot out from far there. Ostrom. Cam able to pick that one up. No ball contact on that clip. Ref will be calling it a foul.
I think the other substitution was Cedric McNay coming off.
No, I just work every week, like all week. I just only work. This guy goes every 1 week. Yeah, but I work before. I want to watch it sometime. I don't want to
Cross is over. Guelph's defense able to clear that. Herrera crossing it back up and in. Back to Herrera. Now Mello. Mello not find any opportunities. We're switching up over to Baker.
Baker.
Cam looking for the ball back. Now to Mello. Bequeo. Guelph's throwing. Throw comes in. Herrera able to bring control back here for London. Baker, quick 1-2. Back to Mello, now to Herrera, and Baker is down.
I think we're at the stage of the game now. You're going to see a lot of players go down with cramp.
Especially with the humidity today.
Yeah, it's been a hot, humid night. I'm sure these guys are feeling it.
Even back in the 65th minute, referee did still allow a water break. Even though it is late here tonight, it is getting a bit cooler.
It's getting cooler, but you can definitely still feel the humidity in the air.
Yeah, their substitution that was made from Guelph United was Kedrick Manet substituting for Pampreet Johal. Johal will be here up into the striker spot.
I don't want to just go into it. It's afraid to call anything.
Looks like Baker will be coming off. Substitution will be coming on here. Camille will be taking Baker's spot. Ball back to Slapinski.
This is it now. Last 15 minutes. Plus stoppage time. I think London need to start thinking about pushing forward.
Oh!
On that. Did you see that? Yeah, that was.
Ryan Coe able to quickly read the mistake there and brought a fast counter into play for Guelph. But it did get deflected up and over, and Austrian did try to keep that in, but that'll be a corner. Johal will be crossing this in. Ball gets cleared. Hajimang battling with that with the FC London defense. Does go out for a corner kick.
There's 3 mics right there.
Johal will be crossing this one back in.
Nice.
Slapinski playing it short there to Carter. Mar looking for an open.
Wait, what? I didn't you said it was the lucky ball.
Now to Buquayo. Buquayo passing it down to the corner. Pass does come back to the top. Buquayo passes it back.
Let's go, Nikki!
Looks like Patrick Mello coming off for London. Nick Ferreira's coming on.
Throws back into play. A little too much of a shoulder from FC London's defense. Ashley Main doesn't look too happy with that. It will be a yellow for Aiden Marr. That will be Aiden Marr's 5th yellow card of the season.
Quandale Dingle.
Oh! Ooh. And it is offside. Quite the lob over, though. It's back. FC London looking to try and find that counter.
Patrick Mello. Looking for Nick.
Bit of an iffy header from Marr. Ranji tried to clear that one. Ooh. Bit of a strong run in there from Guelph. Guelph now is putting the pedal down. McNay taking the shot. Sapinski saved that one.
Off the effort there, I don't think he had many other options other than to go for goal there. Most players running out of the box, but too many bodies in the way.
It's definitely a good run from Doros. Good turn from Fonseca. Kameli passes it back to Morangi.
Yes, yes! Oh, go see, Cam, 1-on-1.
Play number 18! That guy's not wearing shit.
Cam. Oh! And it will be a penalty kick. Wow. Sears went for not the most cleanest of tackles from Sears. Aye.
I think that's just inside the box. See, I was holding him back the entire time. Handful of his jersey. This is it. This is a chance.
With Cam coming onto the pitch, momentum has completely changed for FC London. Even though that one goal Guelph got right at the start, Cam is still showing great spirit out there and making a good blasting pressure to that corner and then drawing the foul. And Bequeo will be taking the penalty kick. Bequeo sneaks it into the bottom left corner, and it is a goal for FC London. And it is all tied up here in the 80th minute, 3-3.
Play for now is a good penalty. Goes to the goalkeeper's left. Bottom corner, a lot of power on it. Goalkeeper goes the right way, but
one absolute turn of events of happening here in the second half. Both teams, their fitness level is not even seeming like they're depleting. They are still fighting so hard, and Guelph United is just definitely keeping the pedal down to trying to get a goal from this to keep the win up.
Well, this is it now. They need a goal here. I'm sure they're well aware of that.
Snedden's bringing the box. Guelph will get the ball away from him. It will be a goal kick.
It's going to be an interesting last 10 minutes here. Austrian, little quick cut back there. McKee,
Austrian tried to take the shot off, and that'll be back here. It'll be a counter. Fonseca. Fonseca did try to run that down. Kameli was there to help.
It's a good save there from the goalkeeper.
Slapinski, even throughout this whole entire season, has been very strong.
Yeah.
He's made some very huge saves for FC London.
If the score stays the same, or London end up getting the win from this, gotta look at that save there.
Well, defending from Cam.
I think he's feeling it though. Goes down in the box. Don't think Guelph will be too happy about this. They want to keep going here.
The urgency is definitely built for Guelph United. They know that they need a win from this. Ajimain gets the ball stolen away. Ball does go back to him. Ooh. Just slides past Slapinski.
Players in the box have got to be alert to that. It's a good ball. It's on a plate for someone just to tap it in. Should have tried to head that back across the fay. Well, back across the top of the box there.
Guelph United looking a little exhausted now. After that second goal London got, their momentum completely changed very fast. But now it seems like maybe they overexerted themselves a wee bit.
Well, the nerves will be kicking in, that's for sure.
Joe Hall. Quick tap forward. Sears now Austrian. Crosses over, and the shot goes wide.
What a dangerous ball in there.
Substitution. Quick replay there.
So yeah, just begging to be hitting at the back post.
Good cross from Austrian.
Mar did well to cut that out as well.
Joe Hall crosses. Guelph and FC London battles it there in the corner. Will be a goal kick. The substitution was made for Guelph United. Owen Shepard has made his way on and took off Owen McKee. Throw comes in. Carter was able to keep that in. Quick couple passes from Sears. Sears sends it back to Johal. It is offside.
Sure, London would be no rush to put this back in.
Slapinski looks like he's taking a sweet old time. Cross comes up and over. Fonseca sends it up to Kameli. Kameli tried to find Sneddon.
It's a poor ball there.
He's not open, man. Okay, now he's.
Sapinski will just clear that one out.
No, go! Try to give it to him. Oh, 16 sucks.
Sears finds Shepard. Oh,
I'm sure there was much in that.
take a quick look at that. Not too sure of that one.
I don't think it was controlled. He got the ball anyway, but free kick here, and that's wasteful.
Sapinski will be able just to quickly grab that one.
He messed up. Number 10 messed up. I was walking. Neil was cleaning the choke.
Sapinski just wanting this out of his half. FC London trying to keep control of it. Herrera just got away from Camelli there. Ranji pressures in. Ferreira keeping the pressure. Fonseca looking for an open man.
Oh, gotta keep the ball there. At the very least, try and win a throw in or a corner. Don't want to play the ball back like that.
Camelli sticking in from behind, draws the foul on Co.
Bro, this is the keeper. Go! Yellow.
Joel is really strong with a lot of the crosses for Guelph United. Been very well at it, and it's been some very strong attempts from Guelph United from these free kicks.
Yeah, there was one earlier, went straight to the goalkeeper. They've just got to make sure that they're winning a lot of them. Again, they need to take their time. I know they're urgent here for a late winner, but they make they get use out of the free kicks. Any set piece that they get at this stage.
Joel passing it back to Oakley.
Officials indicating 4 minutes of extra time.
You gotta say something to him.
And the officials are adding 4 minutes of added time as we make our way to the 90th minute.
It's done well there.
Ferreira was able to steal the ball away there, tried to find a man in the middle. No one was there. Mar. Fuqueo now sending it forward. Carter reading that. Headers it out, not allow any pressure to their defense line. Ooh.
Another free kick here.
Ooh. Looks like both the teams are getting frustrated at the moment as we make our way into the added time. Guelph knows this is a big game that they need to win, and FC London has been really showing some strong colors and making a good statement that they're here in League One to play.
Showed a lot of resilience since going 3-1 down. Their heads could have dropped there from their heads could have dropped. Managed to keep themselves in it, find themselves an equalizer, and they hold on here.
Oh! Wow. What a goal. What a goal. Just slipped away from Sapinski.
It's unfortunate there from the goalkeeper. He's unlucky. It's a massive goal for Guelph, though. Never like to see a mistake from a goalkeeper.
Owen McKee is still on. My apologies, it was Ajimain that got substituted off. So Owen McKee was able, he was the one that got the goal. Ref pulling out the cards to control a bit of this game. Both teams are here in the 92nd minute, still frustration being built up.
This could be the last chance for them.
Artemenko.
It's an easy one for the goalkeeper.
Artemenko just kicking that one out. Not wanting any pressure over on his side. As there's 1 minute left of added time. A little substitution is being added at the end. Harvey Marchant will be coming on and will be taking off Owen McKee, a recent goal scorer. Oh no, we thought we got substituted off earlier, but it was Ajimain. Cam passes to Mar. Quayle makes a quick cut forward. Guelph's defense cleared that one out very fast. Back to the Quayle. Oh. Guelph's defense really clearing that one.
Anywhere but there.
Cam throwing this one in.
Harry, right! Hey, give me more! Last two! You've been like shit! You even helped you two get to where they are. Give me more, boys! Right, with him! Look on!
Throws it in. Carter able to keep the control. McQuail sends it forward to Ferreira. Ferreira crosses it up. And that is game. FC London against Guelph United, 4-3. What a match.
Yeah, that's a massive 3 points for Guelph, especially after Alliance winning earlier on. For London, they'll be a bit gutted there. Clawed their way back from 3-1 down. Made it 3-3, and unfortunate mistake there at the end by the goalkeeper. But I think they can hold their heads up high after this one. They did well. They pushed Guelph to the limit. I'm sure Guelph would have been, at some points, nervous.
I definitely think London should keep their head up from this match. They played very well, very strong, and coming from a rebuilding phase, it can be hard. It's new players trying to gel together. The chemistry just sometimes is not there, and they have been keeping very close matches, but here in this match against Guelph, they really showed that coming into maybe this next season, they are going to show who they are.
The foundation's there. Played well tonight. And the last place team, they just ran the sixth place team tight for the entire 90 minutes. There's a foundation there that just has to be built upon.
Yeah.
See what they can do next season.
Well, this was definitely a win Guelph needed, and they're definitely happy for that. And definitely could mean they get into the top 6 position to get into the playoffs.
Applauding our fans here. Big away traveling support into these games.
Oh, thank you for tuning in here on Rogers TV of FC London against Guelph United. I was your host and play-by-play commentator, Allan, and alongside me as your color commentator was Kyle McGaw. Thanks for watching.
This. Miley, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to share this with my friends, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
I was born and raised in Musqueam First Nation territory by my mother, who spoke Hunkaminam to me. As a child, I ceased using my mother tongue, as to use any language other than English was considered not being Canadian, so I was told. The old people came to me in a dream and reminded me of who I am and where I come from. I have reawakened. My roots are strong, and I'm no longer a silent speaker. My language tells me where I'm from. It defines me and guides me to teach others to learn and understand our culture and traditions. A gift for those in the present and the unborn generations. What was lost is found. What was asleep has awakened. My blood is here, and I am complete. I have returned home.
Hi, girls. Look what I made today with Miley in the kitchen, and Shayna did some appetizers. A vegetarian lasagna done on the egg or barbecue is pretty amazing. So let's dive in. Everybody, thanks for watching today, and I'll see you next time.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Hi, I'm Melissa Yee, Community Engagement Specialist at Rogers TV. Volunteering at Rogers TV during my high school years provided a great opportunity for me to learn on-air reporting and writing, which helped me get into the college I wanted with that experience. The skills I learned while volunteering at Rogers TV were invaluable, and it has now led me down my career path of now overseeing the volunteer program at Rogers TV.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company or 1-888 taxi guy. Or you could use the Arrive Alive smartphone app to help you choose your ride. Be it a friend, transit, or taxi, getting home safely is app easy. Now available for iOS and Android devices. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
This is Rogers TV.
Welcome to Invisible, Breaking Through the Stigma of Addiction. I'm Dean Anderson. I am an addiction counselor and advocate and the host of the show. Today, we have our very first guest is Mike Hannon. Mike Hannon is the Director of Substance Use Dependency from Westover Treatment Center. Thanks for joining us, Mike.
You're welcome.
So Mike has been in the field. Mike, you've been in the field for a whole bunch of years, at least 30 years of experience with working with addiction and substance use. What does that look like? What has that looked like in the 30 years, the progression, and, what's the current face of addiction?
I think the progression has been, from what I've seen, is toward a youthful movement. There are people who are younger who are experiencing issues, but more importantly, there are people who are younger who are reaching out for help for those issues. When I was first involved, it was in my own personal recovery, and you go to any kind of a 12-step meeting, and it was always like a bunch of old guys, it seemed like. And what we're seeing now in the treatment field, a lot of very, very young people, like their demographic, I think age-wise, has really dropped as far as people seeking help. So I don't know what message is out there for them, but they seem to understand the need for help at a much younger age than they had been. And there's a lot more mental health issues associated with substance use disorder than there had been before. It's a lot of it is a self-medication aspect, I think, that people are starting to be aware of it. But yeah, a lot of issues in the young people.
Do you think that the increase in mental health issues are just the access to diagnosis? Do you think it's an increase in something in society, or is it just what do you think that it might be that's causing that influx?
Well, I think for a lot of it, not being able to be a diagnostician to say one way or another, but I think some of it is the fact that there's an anomaly happening now that wasn't happening 30 years ago, and that is we have now third and fourth generations of people in chemical dependence, addiction type, as opposed to just alcoholics. We have hardcore addicts that are now third and fourth generation. So I'm not sure if some of that might have an impact on the mental health of people, their substance use through their formative years and whatnot of family members.
Definitely, I can see that, how that would be impactful, because the idea of it being a family disease, and that there's coping mechanisms passed down through generations and genealogy and all those other things that can play a contributing factor. And then now, of course, it's much more accessible to understand more of the hardcore drugs, and they're easily to get at and communicate and text message and do all those things to make it accessible to you. So I could see that. Yeah. So what is the function of residential treatment? So the program that you do, how does that work with this?
Well, our philosophy, if you will, around addiction is primarily very little of it has to do with the substance. The substance is the issue when people come, but recovery is about not returning to the substance, trying to find a different way to meet the need that the substance was meeting. And our belief is that a large part of what addiction is about is disconnection. People feel disconnected in some way, shape, or form. How it happened or whatever is immaterial. A lot of people want to attribute it to trauma. There's a lot of talk about trauma. Did it cause it, or did it just reinforce it? It's immaterial. What we want to do here at Westover, and what our program is designed to do, is help people start to build a sense of connection with others that ultimately will lead to a sense of connection with themselves. And when I say with themselves, I mean the self that they were before the addiction took over and started to challenge their self-esteem and their feelings of belonging and wholeness.
Just like that. Chicken, yeah. There's a not to oversimplify it, absolutely not. But yeah, I mean that's what it comes down to. It comes down to connection and being able to help people find themselves and heal at the level that they want to heal at, right?
Well, ultimately, Dean, the solution is simple. It's just for really complicated people.
Here, I got that right with you. There's also a vision of residential treatment, and there's something that people look at it in the sense that when you hear residential treatment, it's always rehab, right?
Yeah.
And I know that there's some stigma around that as well, and there's an idea that it's for the worst of the worst. Can you tell me, your impressions of that, or what makes that wrong or right?
Well, I think the reason there's impressions around that, quite simply, is because how addiction has been portrayed in media or movies or whatever. There's sort of been a glorification of the worst parts of it, and so that gives people the belief that everybody who says I have an addiction issue is either living under a bridge or walking around with a paper bag or whatever. And so that's the belief. And if you've got to go to rehab, then you're the lowest of the low and the whole bit. And all it's about is learning some life skills. I had a client actually today say to me that they told their family they were going to life college because, see, that's a big part of what residential treatment here at Westover is about anyway, is teaching people the requisite skills to be able to communicate to their feelings, which helps them create connection with their loved ones and their family members and the people in their lives. They can find a different way of expressing and accepting themselves. And so that's something that they need to understand. And I've literally had a brain surgeon in treatment who thought he was better than everyone until he had about an hour conversation with an 18-year-old kid who was addicted to crack. And his whole thing was, after we're exactly the same people, we've just traveled a bit of a different journey. And so that understanding exists inside the walls. It's trying to get that understanding outside the walls. And that'll only happen if we stop glorifying the horrific aspects of addiction and start to look at the humanity of the people involved.
Mm-hmm. So by glorifying, are you referring to the media? You're referring to the way that we make it gangster and we, glorify it on social media and in the media, and we turn it into this bad thing to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's that whole sense of judgment of in regards to it. And one of the things that clients have when if you're actually providing treatment within a treatment setting, is the one thing they will not feed is judgment.
Yes. Yeah. So that contributes to the whole cycle of shame and all that stuff that goes along with that.
All the stuff that disconnects.
Yes. So last question for you, Mike. I know that you have ceremonies every week and you have groups that come in out of there. People are leaving there. You have a commencement, so a new beginning, and people leave the facility. What are the words of wisdom that you share each week with those people when they're leaving the building?
The one message, I have this asked to me many times, the one message I want to give people is, I hope when they leave our center, they leave with the belief that they deserve a better life than they have allowed themselves to have. That way, should they get off track at some point, they'll be able to look themselves in the mirror and say, you know what, I deserve better than I've allowed myself to have, and step back on the tracks of recovery and start to do the work to live that better life that they actually do deserve.
Awesome. I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you so much for being on the show and sharing all your wisdom. And we'll be sure to have you back again sometime.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dean.
We'll be right back after these messages.
It was my daughter's birthday. She was blowing out the candles on her cake when we heard coming from the TV. So we stopped and listened, and it helped us get to safety. That's why when I think of my daughter's birthday, because now she gets to keep having them.
Do you have something to share? Let everyone know about your next meeting, your need for volunteers, or your fundraising event on the Rogers TV Community Billboard. Send us your words and we'll bring them to life on Rogers TV and rogerstv.com. When it's time to spread the word, go to rogerstv.com to add your announcement to the community billboard.
Welcome back to the show. Our second guest is somebody that I look up to personally. He is a university professor at King's College. He's a PhD, MSW, RSW, has a whole bunch of letters behind his names, has quite literally written the textbook for some of the university programs on addiction. Welcome to the show, Rick Cernick.
Thank you very much, Dean. Glad to be here with you today.
I'm so happy that you are here and that you agreed to be on the show. I think that there's a wealth of knowledge that you have to share, and I just can't wait to tap into it. Rick, one of the biggest things that I've learned, or what I learned initially when I went into university, was that some of the language and the dialogue I was using around addiction was inappropriate is the best way that I can describe it. And I was caught off guard when I was writing papers and doing things, and the professor or the TA would come back and say, yeah, this isn't the good language to use. And I had to change my way of thinking, my dialogue around it. Can you help me understand a little bit more about that dialogue around addiction and the stuff that, was inappropriate for me to use?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right off the bat, though, addiction is a fascinating field because nobody owns it. I mean, there's all sorts of professionals that work it. I'm a social worker, I have a psychology background, I've got a degree in biology. So there are doctors and nurses and addiction specialists and social workers and psychologists, psychometrists, all sorts of people work in this field. But we're late to the show. I mean, professional people really came much after peers came into it. I mean, the foundation for the way we help people in North America is really Alcoholics Anonymous in the AA movement and NA, Narcotics Anonymous, that grew out of it. And so those people self-named themselves, right? And this is back in the day, really 1935, when the movement really picked up. And so they called themselves addicts, right? And it was to discern themselves. They felt like outsiders. The society treated them like outsiders. And so they needed something to bond. I mean, form together very much at us versus them, because society saw them as discarded, right? As rummies, as vagabonds, all sorts of negative names. And so addict became actually a positive name. We jump forward to the 21st century, and very much those of us in the helping professions don't ever want to see a person as a thing. And so an addict is a thing. And so we always want to see the person, because the person with an addiction issue is, again, cliche, mother, brother, sister, pastor, university professor, truck driver, wife of the President of the United States. So we want to see the individual as a person first. So the term addict, what we say in universities anyways, objectifies a person, doesn't see them as a whole individual. So what I tell my students is, person with an addiction, you put the person first and you put the label aside.
Absolutely. That's a big change for anybody to grasp onto. How are we to try and incorporate this into the rest of the world? Or, I mean, how do we change that dialogue so that, it's 1935, it's a long time ago.
I mean, it's a difficult concept because we have people in different professions with different ideas. Again, as social workers, as counselors, we're always looking to see the whole person. The term addiction itself, though, is just fascinating because it's become trivialized. I'm addicted to caffeine. I'm addicted to exercise. I'm addicted to these things. And addiction is so much more of a complex issue than that. I mean, there are 3 distinct components. And some people will say there's 4 distinct components. And so one is the biological piece to it, right? So there's this notion of who you are as an individual, your biological makeup, your genetics, your hair color, the way you metabolize things. So those things you really can't control over. Your mom and dad gave them to you, their parents gave them to you, you're stuck with your genetics, right? But that's a core way that your body responds whenever you put a drug into it. Then there's the psychological makeup of it. And so your personality. how you cope with stress, how you deal with trauma, how you're overwhelmed. And of course, in today's society, we appreciate things like post-traumatic stress disorder, trauma. We used to call things like shell shock. We used to minimize these, but we know there are things that happen to everyone, to all of us, that have the capability of overwhelming our coping mechanisms. And then there's our social context. I mean, where you're living, the fact that we're in Canada and we're not in the southern United States, we're not in Ecuador, we're not in Sierra Leone, that